Leading off, we have Bay Enzio, who was on fire when she was in center field. Emma Barnes, a little bit here and there. You can see by the brace on her leg, but she gets prepared for the delivery here. And we'll keep that one low in the zone to Bea Enzio, who we saw have a very busy day in center field.
I believe that's her drive leg too, so that'll definitely have an effect on you until you can figure out how to get back comfortable with that.
Here comes the 1-0 from McLeod. That'll stay low and down the middle.
So we're going to maybe see a different strike zone, but these players have to feel that all out again.
It's a new opportunity for new pitching. However, they will have a threat coming their way in the bottom of the first with Maya Johnson back in the circle. Enzio will leave that one, confirming the call. That'll be 2-2. She did not swing.
Ooh, it is so close, and credit to the Redbird Productions crew for getting that angle, but that is going to be a really tough call to overturn, and I think she might be safe anyway.
Well, I like this angle here because you can see the ball hit the top of the mitt and then go in the pocket, but I'm sticking with what I thought it was at first sight. I think her foot got in there before the ball. What do you say?
Yeah, I say that's a very good call.
It's down, it's good. Rounding, we have Enzio making it to third. She's called off. The throw is missed. She's going to take a few steps off the bag, but retreats. And just like that, we see Barnes advance to second, having an absolute day at the plate here today.
Very interesting to see they threw the stop sign on. That one down in the corner, that looked... Man, it was so close to foul too, but it's a long way. Infield fly rule it looked like, but that wouldn't be an infield fly rule situation, so. Maybe it just looked like that to me, but.
I couldn't tell if it was caught on the lip of the grass or more so in the dirt, but regardless, it wouldn't have been smart for either runner to try to advance.
Well, there would have had to have been a force at first. There would have had to have been someone at first for it to be an infield fly rule. So I think it's just my mistake.
Fourth meeting in program history. That goes inside on the hands, and getting the strikeout is McLeod, who's off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, now that stop sign on that double is really looming large now because you've got an opportunity with 2 away to escape scoreless. There's still a long way to go because you got to get through this batter, but if she's going to pitch to her.
That'll go outside, prefer to do in college too, because I'm not a fan of trying to get the outside pitches. So I'd rather they be close in the hands, especially as a pole hitter, right? Because that's kind of your bread and butter there. So you're not shy if it's close on your hands.
And it's almost making the decision for the pitcher on where you want them.
Lone home run in game 1. As that's fouled off by Larson.
And that's a good point you make with the change in weather. Sun's gone away, clouds are in here, so it's going to make it even harder for the ball to get any lift on it because it's going to be that much colder.
Close inside. Full count. 1 down. Seems as though it's a bit of an adjustment on the velocity side of things for these bats.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the left-hander Maya Johnson, a record of 12-1 so far on the season, as that's golfed into right field on a dive. Missing it is Barnes. Enzio with the retrieval, bringing it back to 2. Knight standing victorious on first.
Yeah, just very, very close. And you felt like she had it played right. It's just all trying to get that outside corner, but she was sitting on it, and so she saw it and was able to know it was just off.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first. It was high and over the press box. Bloom in the batter's box now. No balls, 1 strike.
Able to get the lead runner.
1 down. We now have Balsiger at the plate. First pitch, that'll go to Hopkins, fielding it on the side. The throw does not get there in time. Looks like bases are loaded. Madison Delecki at the plate now.
And I believe that was the change they made.
Oh, count goes to 2-1. Belmont's lineup is filled with players who provide productive at-bats, but certainly a player who you'd want in this moment. Two-1 is golfed into left. However, that'll spill foul. And left center keep falling with it. And for a player like Nicole Hughes, it seems most of the outfield, I guess predominantly against this Belmont lineup, has been playing pretty deep. Bruins to help them sit atop the MVC standings, now on an 11-game win streak, courtesy of the Redbirds, falling 2-1 in Game 1 of the day. The Redbirds ended up dropping their conference opening series against Southern Illinois, now 0-4 in.
A lot of noise from the dugout right now.
You know, I was just about to say, I think I mentioned it before in Game 1, but what I love about softball is they just always treat it like a championship game, and I think these players have been in these moments before where they know they need to add a win to their players' sails, especially whoever is in the box at this time.
For a minute, but definitely a really good effort.
The freshman continues to stun, not just from her patrolling center field, but also when she's at the plate. That was a phenomenal play. Let's wind it back. We can see it's in the glove there. It rolls.
Opposite field, that's been the good approach for the lefties, is not the pull, but the push.
With that, that'll bring up Grace Gresley, the catcher, up to the plate. She's swinging .231 on the season, entering today's matchup. A home run and 12 RBI to her name as well.
These innings have just not been easy.
Cockrell over there. That one's going to go over to Delaney. Bryant making the tag, turns for the throw, unable to turn the double play. However, that will garner an out.
I will say it probably wouldn't have been any closer if she went for the 4.63 there. Just because, I mean, we'll take a look at it to know for sure, but just too much of a slow roller. She takes it herself to got to be able to spend some time in the dugout.
Lauren Luciana at the plate, swinging at the first pitch from McLeod. Luciana, we got to see her in the tail end of game number 1, but being a staple part of the lineup here today in game 2. Swinging 194, 9 RBI to her name. 0-1, same spot.
I don't think it'll be this way today, but sometimes Tri-Towers can cast a shadow on the outfield if it gets the sun just right.
And that's what's really nice, especially as a defender here when you have the home field advantage, as they continue to search for their first win at home here in conference play, but just knowing the ins and outs of your field, whether there may be holes in the dirt, and just like that, it's mopped into left field, getting it on the...
We've got a Redbird now on with Ella Boyer, who hasn't been able to come in yet, but she was from Illinois State. Morgan Day went to Illinois State as well, so I've been able to follow the softball team kind of since that was all going on, and of course going here makes it better.
Ballsider punches that in the right field. Bryant tries to stop it, however, crossing the plate. We have a runner, and man, they just keep on adding to the runs here.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, and the way that she held up two running into second.
That's close.
But see, it looks like she gets tagged when the glove comes up, not when the glove is down.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a better angle here for fans to see.
She's out, I would say. Let's see.
It looks like she might have
Yep.
got her hands.
And she's knocking her, like, the fact that there was that contact is what gets her hand to the base quicker, but she's already.
And that's a team that can back it up on the offensive side of things, too. But definitely providing threats on both sides of the coin. Paige McLeod taking a deep breath, entering the circle once again. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down. We have Bay Enzio at the plate. Runner on second.
Approach is different for each pitcher. Not every pitcher thrives in that sort of environment. We've got Johnson on, in the circle right now, and she loves the swing and miss stuff. But, every pitcher's going to have a different approach to it.
The junior Bella Atkinson is now at the plate. A swing and a miss. That'll make another strikeout on the day here for Maya Johnson, her 3rd of the game. For all of these Redbirds bats to get another glimpse at Maya Johnson, see how she's approaching different batters, if there's certain ones that are similar in how they stand in the box. And that one sent into right center. Fielding it is Enzio. And there we go, a hit and a runner on first here for the Redbirds.
Yeah, that was a pitch right in her spot. Take another look. Straight.
An issue, but
right.
I think that's been the preference. Plus, it's not too hot, right? Or it's not too warm, but I would say today it's a little mix of everything. But the shadows, I don't think, help either on a defensive standpoint. They do when you're in the box, though, and Bryant needs that 0-2 count. Here's the offering from Maya Johnson.
It's very hard to get any hits off her. It's why she only has given up 2.
Julia Larson up to the challenge now. Strike 1.
She also just bears down on you. I mean, she's wearing the sunglasses today and just very, no emotion at all. Just kind of a little bit of anger in her, too. Just very intimidating.
You're watching the Valley here on ESPN. We're winding it back to the last out made. Hannah Meeks just taking one on the hand, losing the glove, but second baseman Delaney Bryan able to come up big, make the retrieval, and get the out. I mean, Braden, that I could just feel this 1. 4 already on the day here today in game number 2, so that makes 7. You add that to a couple. I mean, she's above 170 so far. That'll go foul. But she's gaining national recognition for the amount of strikeouts that she has. She came in with 168 to today's game. Do you want to do some math for me? 168 plus 7?
Yeah, good one-on-one swing and just finding that hole again.
Even if she was able to stop that, that would have been incredibly hard to turn.
Yeah.
Here we go, no outs. Runner on first. I'll go to the outside part of the plate. Gresley joining again. I worked for Sports Illustrated covering the Tigers during COVID, so even though there was no fans, if there were home runs hit or foul balls, they had personnel on patrol to make sure they could grab the balls and make sure that they were keeping them for recognition. As that one goes high over to the right side. Looks like that'll be a catch there for Knight. Out rolls to 2. Tallying 7+ here today.
And she got her first save of the year.
Facing Hopkins here at the plate. Hopkins mans the hot corner here for the Redbirds. Receives the 1-1. Will send that foul. Almost hits one of our...
In the 2022 Girls State Wrestling Championship, which is not something I would have taken her for, but another multi-sport athlete.
Here comes the 1-0. That stays high. And I'm sure especially the strategy that it takes with wrestling, right? Being one-on-one with your opponent, also the strength as well. It's just really cool, and I've also noticed that with people who've maybe played basketball or maybe soccer. It's really neat to see how the skills like that. A team that has stayed at the top of the MVC for fielding percentage, a bit of a weird hit off the bat, and it kind of lays down for an awkward moment with difficult communication.
Yeah, she got almost tied up a little bit and just had to try and hold it back. She tried to hold back the swing, but got it on it and just kind of a little bloop hit.
Well, this is something that the Redbirds needed momentum-wise, now bringing up freshman Marissa. Typical hop as you would anticipate. Feeling the frustration is Emily Cockrell over at second.
You know, you feel like by now you've got to be ready for it. It seems like, I believe all three of these infield errors have been because the ball has not bounced as much as they anticipate, but you would think they would make that adjustment.
So you would think, but I'm sure it's hard too with the muscle memory that you have and the amount of balls that you've seen come your way. To have some energy over in their dugout.
Yeah.
Breathing a bit of life into this group. And we can see there for Allie Middleton, I'm sure that's a really tough thing to shake off. Your first time freshman here in college ball, giving up a home run, 2 runs crossing. So I like that she's dialing back in now with a 1-1 count.
Through these first 2 games, Belmont trailing Illinois State 8-3, heading into the bottom of the 7th.
That's in regards to what's happening nearby over the baseball field.
Yep, and Belmont at home for that one, so you kind of, you know, each team making a bus trip to the other campus, kind of learn a little bit more about each school.
Spindler able to make her way down to comfortable lead here for the Bruins, up 5-2, 11 hits so far in game 2, 2 errors as well. The Birds, 5 hits, 1 error. That goes high, Knight camps underneath it, and that'll 3-2 goes low, and Wolford taking another free pass over to first base, back-to-back walks, her last 2 at-bats.
That is exactly the way you want to start it out, too. Just nice, long, drawn-out at-bat, and then find your way on base. And it looks like we're going to get a courtesy runner, or perhaps you just call it a pinch runner, and we'll see, but
1-0 count. Here comes the delivery. Bryant sends that one into left field. However, hits the fence, goes foul.
A little bit of an excuse me swing, just trying to catch up to it. She was just trying to swing really, really quickly there, and all of a sudden, she's out in front of it.
Goes to 1-1, but you can feel the aggression in her swing, too. She's ready to commit here.
But to be able to work late in a game and make those plays, it is Delaney Bryant just being an absolute superstar today.
Yes, this was an absolutely incredible win, snapping an 11-game win streak here for the Belmont Bruins. And able to get their first win in conference play are the Redbirds. And first win here at home. Let's roll out the highlights.